いつかあの背中に追いつくために。さーて一丁やってやりますかねえ。さっさすりゃすりゃいいぞあいつつやさっさと始めようぜ。俺は誰にも負けねえ。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Monday night here on Capcom Fighters for another episode of Sets. We are definitely past the 20th episode mark. I actually can't remember what number it is. I'm going to have to count that and do it again. But I am going to be your host once again for this session where we're going to be having another first to 10, a delicious one tonight with pre-match interviews and post-match interviews. And alongside me, he's passed the test. He's back with me another week. He's co-hosting Olvaha, Talk to the Peoples. How you feeling tonight?
Yo, what's up? My name is Olvaha, as you said, and I'm stoked. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I'm just ready to go. I want to see all what these players are gonna do, and I want to learn more about them because, let's be honest, for myself, they aren't the most known players for me. So I want to know more about them, what they play, what makes them tick, for example. I want to know it all.
All right, he wants to know it all indeed, because last week we had an absolute banger with the South African community. But this time round, we're going to head on over to the West. We're going to be going over to the States. Richard, show them the fight card. Let the people know the set that's going to be happening tonight. We advertised it on Capcom Fighters Twitter account. But ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the first to 10 for tonight. We got ChrisCCH jumping on the stream for the first time, I think it is, I believe, and he's going to be going up against Mortsy. These two have had so many exchanges between the two of them in tournaments. Mortsy isn't happy about it. He's telling me about it in the back earlier, and he's going to tell me more about it when we bring on these guys for a discussion. But this is going to be another juicy set. I messaged these guys last week. I said, yo, come on over to Capcom Fighters and let's play this long first to 10, because actually one of the reasons I specifically got these two, I didn't tell these two this, hope they're listening. One of the reasons I got these two is because I haven't actually seen them play a longer set, longer than first to 3. And as we said before, I'm pretty sure Mortsy will allude to it later. Chris has been getting the better of Mortsy, so I'm like, okay, let's feed him what he wants. Let's give him the ultimate long set of first to 10. And I'm hoping we might see Sakura versus F.A.N.G, the usual. We might see another character. I mean, Olvaha, what are you thinking? What do you think these guys are going to pick? Because Chris has Sakura and Seth. Mortsy has a plethora of characters on his belt, F.A.N.G being the main source. I believe he has been dabbling with Aura. He might have a Honda as well, so we could have a good mixture here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. We're definitely going to have a mix for sure. I don't think we're going to, once again, like last week, we're not going to be sticking with these characters that are, supposed to be the mains. I'm definitely thinking it's a first to 10, so there's room for experimentation. We're going to definitely see something else. And just like you mentioned, there's a plethora of characters to choose from.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, we got to talk things all Street Fighter. We're going to be having the first 10 happening after we talk to these guys before that, which will be in a couple of moments. But I wonder if my stream team did get the graphic. If not, it's going to be fine. But we have to congratulate the people that played over the weekend on the CPT. We got to congratulate the South African community first. But it's going to be a case of, we want to say congratulations to Billy, the winner of the South African CPT over the weekend. Shout outs to Ringe and Vicious for holding it down on commentary.
That was so good.
But Billy Jabi, you know, Apollo, all of them guys that featured in the top 16 and the top 8, the South African community came in abundance and they did not fail to disappoint. There is an interview with Billy, the winner, on Capcom Fighters channel, so if you want to go and check that out, please go and do so. The grand final between Jabi M and Billy is on there. The guys we had on last week.
Yeah. Like, I was gonna say, Jammerz, isn't it so poetic that the guys that were last week on this show, and they were talking about like playing against each other, playing in the next like upcoming weekend. Isn't it so poetic that they played against each other in the grand finals? And what a grand finals it was! It was a sight to behold.
Because we had them play, obviously, the extended set of the first to 10, right? And at first I thought, yo, Billy might run away with this. But because again, what did I say last week? I said, if this was a first to 3, Billy would have run away with that.
Yes,
and obviously there was a reset, you know, Billy changing characters. He got with a surprise Ed pick. And funnily enough, I did mention to both the players, one of them should pick Poison. And lo and behold, Jabi M did. But there you go. We have it on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. That is your winner and the latest Capcom Cup qualifier. Illusions, Billy Day. I love this guy because he goes, Capcom need to do something about Poison. I don't understand that character. He's like, I have Nekali and the Command Grab. I have Zeku and I have Ed. He comes with a surprise Ed pick. I love this guy. I love Billy. But you need to watch the interview. Go and watch his interview on Capcom Fighters YouTube channel. It's about 7 minutes long. And he has some really insightful stuff. So I actually can't wait to see how he fares against the usual international competition when they make it to the finals. But it's going to be fantastic to see. And as you can see, those are all the players that are qualified for Capcom Cup, Billy being the latest qualification spot.
Yes.
In terms of his character roster, this might be a very big challenge for him, but I think it's going to be probably one of his most funnest, entertaining challenges of his fighting game career. Because again,
definitely,
a lot of these people that are qualified probably they know little to nothing about the South African community, and I'm pretty sure from what Billy and Jabi were telling us prior their set last week and that these guys watch a lot of international competition, so Billy's going to be doing a lot of studying from now until early next year for the finals. But again, we got Billy, Mena, Travis, Mr. Crimson, Punk, DCQ, Rob TV, Takamura, Angry Bird, Ronaldinho, Nero the Boxer, NL, Nephew, Gamma, and Margot. And trust me, people, the qualification spots are not filled out. We still got another probably about, 12 to 14 spots to fill. This is going to be quite the Capcom Cup in early 2022. But once again, congratulations to Billy for qualifying. Unlucky to Jabi because he had an amazing losers run from yesterday. I don't know if you were able to catch the top 8 yesterday, Olvaha.
Yeah, I did. And yeah, like you said, it was an amazing losers run. Also, like, I want to point out that Billy, like, he has a good momentum rolling here. Like, he has the tapes. He can just go up, look it up on YouTube, any other platform. He can just look up these other players and see tons of footage. So he can definitely study the tapes before the Capcom Cup. So I can't wait to see how he's going to do.
Speak of the devil, we're going to be bringing out the schedule for you guys once again to let you know, because this is actually pretty important news. It's a case of there is not going to be a CPT for about another 2 or 3 weekends. So we are actually on a Capcom Pro Tour break online. There should be other events, weeklies and whatnot going on in between. I'm pretty sure Red Bull Hit the Streets in South Africa will be happening next weekend or 2 weekends after that. I need to double check with the South African community. That will be happening. There's not going to be a CPT online until September the 18th. And that's going to be Japan's second qualification spot. Number 2 of 4 they're going to have. They started off the season opening it up with a qualification. They're going to be ending the CPT with their 4th one. But right now we have to go to the second one. And believe me, the Japanese players have been training hard and diligently because Street Fighter League is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. So please keep an eye out for that. I probably should have told the stream team to pull up the graph for Street Fighter League. That was my fault. They already cropped up to my head now. Don't worry about that. But then a week after that, you're going to be seeing my good old boys from my backyard. We're going to be seeing the UK and Ireland going for their CPT, one of 2 qualification spots was going to be happening. So when we do hit September, which will be in about 2 days, it's going to be very interesting CPT actions there. I mean, are you looking forward to these ones, Olvaha?
I mean, Jammerz, just look at this schedule. There's so many events almost every weekend. Like, I can't wait. That's going to be a highlight for the week for sure. And I hope all of you guys at your homes are going to be tuning in for all of that Street Fighter goodness, because there's going to be a lot of it.
Oh yeah, for sure, indeed. And you can find all the action here on the Twitch channel, like we said, twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters, and the archives will be put on the YouTube channel. Or if you're subscribed to the channel already, you can catch the archives on here as well. Like we said, I'm going to briefly mention it. There is going to be Street Fighter League. They are announcing the teams that are going to be participating in the Street Fighter League, and the players, of course. We've seen Nordavin, we've seen NASA, I think we've seen UYU, we've seen Bandits, Mena RD's team as well. I'm not sure if they've announced the others. I need to double check. I'm not sure if you've seen that online, Olvaha.
I'm not sure either, but let me just say one thing. Like, these teams are looking buff. Like, every team they've revealed, I'm like, damn, who's gonna go up against these guys? Like, these teams are buff. Only killers.
Yeah, listen, it's great to have the international competition. Only the finest of the finest players again. And some of these teams, it's actually pretty hard for them to draft the right people, right? Because again, the amount of leveling up people have done over the past, 12 to 18 months has been insane, right? So yeah, I can imagine how difficult it must have been for some of these guys, especially some of the European teams, to pick out the main guys. Speaking of European teams, Nordavin, they did announce their team. They got F.A.N.G, Veggie, and Luffy. And I did put it out there because I hope I wasn't like just well off my rock, but I'm pretty sure Luffy's face did get photoshopped. I don't know. Am I the only one? It looks like Olvaha wants to say something. I thought I was the only one. Listen, let me tell you guys a quick story, right? I was looking at, when they announced Nordavin, I saw Luffy with hairy arms. And I said, I've known Luffy for a long time. And he doesn't have hairy arms. I don't look at people like that. Don't judge me, right? I don't look at people that deep, but I said, I swear Luffy doesn't have hairy arms like that.
Dude, I saw your tweet and I was like, I was looking at the picture, I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong here.
Dude, listen, I don't know. Because I thought they were going to get everyone in the studio to take a picture of them. You know, the whole esports folding arm.
Of course, the arms.
But then I saw Luffy with very different arms, and I was like, hang on, this definitely ain't
wrong
right.
set of arms.
This is crazy. But
what's going on?
You're going to be having UYU, Panda, NASA, Nordavin, Bandits. You're going to be having all sorts. But speaking of which, we do have, like we said before, the fight card. We have one of the UYU players that are going to be partners. He's graced us with his presence. I messaged him. I said, Chris, come on, Capcom Fighters, show us why you're amazing, why you've been sponsored. We do have the guys in the waiting room, so I do want to know from my stream team, are the gentlemen in the back ready to go for a little call? Are we sure they're ready? All right, cool.
Take a peep in the locker room.
Please, let's bring these gentlemen on board. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be bringing ChrisCCH and Mortsy into the call. We're going to be discussing a couple of things Street Fighter, because I'm pretty sure they have quite a bit to say. We got quite a bit of things to ask them, so we could do that for about 15 minutes or so. And then after the little chat we have, we can get this first to 10 going. So please, Richard, roll it. So how we got the gentleman here? Chris, Mortsy, can you guys hear me loud and clear?
Yes, hello.
There's one. Hey, they're both here. Lovely. Because usually what happens is one person shows up and the other one's just nowhere to be found. So this is probably the first time both players have been here right off the bat.
That's amazing.
It's been absolutely fantastic. But yes, Chris, Mortsy, once again, thank you very much for joining us on Capcom Fighters. Usually what we do here is in this little segment, we're going to be chatting with you guys for about 10-15 minutes, find a little bit about yourselves and your opinions on Street Fighter before you guys literally fight each other tooth and nail to win this first to 10. So, obviously to kick things off, I've done this to Nephew a couple of episodes back, and this is another thing that's piqued my interest as well. So we're going to start off with firing the questions at Chris. Chris, what does the CCH in your name mean? Is there any particular meaning?
That's a good question.
Or is it just probably your surname?
No, listen, this is like every time I stream, I get this question asked at least probably 5 times per stream, if not more.
Because I'm the 6th person.
And
for a good
you're
reason.
the 6th person. It is classified, all right? I can't tell anybody. It's classified information.
Do you know I can picture Chris's face? He's not directly looking at the camera saying it's classified. I can't tell anyone that. Are you sure? Wait, okay, answer me this then.
Edgy.
Speak of the devil, right? If you can't classify, or you can't divulge that information to us. Did you tell the UIU owners what CCH stands for?
Yeah, I don't actually remember. I think I told at least one person on the team.
So if I go around and ask each and every member, has Chris told you what CCH stands for? Will I get an answer?
Nah, they know it's classified. They won't tell you.
Chris, don't worry. They're gonna ask after this show. Don't worry.
I don't know. I can think of 3 people I can ask. They might give me an answer. I don't know. Are you sure, Chris, that you haven't told anyone?
I try to keep it a secret as best as I can, but I feel like some people out there might know. Now I'm starting to sweat a little bit.
This is brilliant. I'm only playing with you.
Jammerz, if you get the information, you gotta pass it on to me.
But I'm publicly putting it out there. No, that's what I'm doing. Listen, Nephew told me his original name was Marshmallow before he changed his name to Nephew. I was like, I will happily put out the CCH information on the internet if need be. Don't worry. But honestly, I had to get that out of the way because I was thinking, what does it actually mean? But that's completely fine.
That's a good question.
Right, now, the next thing I have to ask is obviously regarding your recent sponsor, UIU. First of all, congratulations on that, Chris. Thoroughly deserved. Is this your very first sponsor? Like your first professional sponsor? Or you had one before?
Nope, this is completely my first sponsor at all. And it was very surprising to me because, the pandemic's going on and everything. I kind of just didn't expect to get any sort of offers like that until offline comes back and I can start, showing off my results there. But it was very nice surprise.
And this came after your Intel World Open win or before it?
That was before it, because I remember I got invited to play in. It was like a UIU invitational thing where it was like a 3v3 with it was me, Filipino man Alex Myers, I think, versus JB, Nephew, and Samurai.
Oh yeah.
And so we played in that, and then my team ended up winning. And they were very impressed by my Sakura play and just hit me up after that.
That's absolutely brilliant. And obviously, when people do get sponsored, they find a newfound motivation to continue practicing and play at this professional level. I mean, despite being at home, what has it been like for you? Have you improved tenfold? Have you still been improving at the same pace? So ever since you put UIU in front of your name, has anything really changed in terms of your mentality towards Street Fighter 5? Has it been pretty much the same before you got sponsored?
I don't think too much has changed. Ever since the pandemic has been going on, I think I've been improving a lot faster just in general, having so many online tournaments to play in. That's helped me a lot, I think. But immediately after I got sponsored by UIU, I feel like my tournament results actually got a lot worse because I got a little bit nervous, feeling like I actually, had a little bit something to prove. But after those initial nerves wore off, I kind of feel like, it's mostly been the same. I've just been improving in the same way, playing all the online tournaments I can, that sort of stuff.
Okay, fair play. I mean, hey, listen, sometimes being sponsored comes with its own excess baggage. Sometimes it's unnecessary pressure you put on yourselves, but it's life of a pro player, right? You now, instead of getting these results for fun, you actually have to deliver results, whether you like it or not. And if you don't deliver those results, I can draft them a quick email and send it to Ginny and Drew. No, I'm kidding. I'm only playing with you. But, Olvaha, please, you got any questions for Chris before we ask Mortsy some questions?
Yeah, I was gonna ask Chris, how do you feel about your main currently sitting in the meta? So you play Sakura. What do you think of the character and how does she fit with the rest of the crew?
Good question.
I think Sakura's definitely just been getting stronger every single season.
For sure.
She just keeps getting all of these buffs. I'm not even asking for these buffs and they just keep giving them to her. So I think she's in a pretty good spot. I think it's good to play her with a secondary, in my opinion, because she doesn't have too many matchups that I think are really bad. There's not she has a very well-rounded tool set, so there's not many characters that I think just totally shut her down. But there are definitely some matchups where I feel like if I'm gonna win them, I kind of just gotta random them out. I gotta go ham. And I think Ryu is a big one. Dalsum is another big one.
Well, of course.
Urian I also don't like. I think those are the 3 big ones for me at the moment. Chun-Li, I'm also not a huge fan of, but I feel like that one's not too bad anymore. I think those 3 are the biggest ones. And then there are a couple others where they just feel not too bad, but a little bit uncomfortable, like Karin, Cammy, Chun-Li, like I mentioned. I'm trying to think of another one. I think even the Ken players are going to hate me for this, but I feel like Ken's even a little bit hard now. I know they will kill me for that, but I really feel like it's not the best.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, you are one of the best Sakura players I know in the entire community for Street Fighter 5. So, I mean, listen, a lot of people will value your opinion highly, and it's something I don't normally see. Sakura versus Ken, but I'm going to have to take your word of it for now. I'll look into it a little bit later, but he's probably, like you said, the Ken players are probably going to crucify him for that opinion.
Absolutely.
But listen, opinion's not fact. If you don't like it, move on. That's Chris's opinion, and if he can back it up with his own personal experiences, then please let him have his opinion. It is his time to shine, not yours. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, that's some interesting stuff there. But now we got to include the boy Mortsy, because I know Mortsy's been waiting. And I know Mortsy's got a lovely black top in his image there. Like, we didn't sort that one out for him, but shout outs to Mortsy. Mortsy, my first question to you is definitely going to be a typical one you probably get asked all the time. Is there a F.A.N.G Illuminati Discord, yes or no?
Yes.
There is?
Yo.
Now,
Absolutely.
I need all the names of every member in that Discord. Can you tell me them, or are you going to keep them hidden?
I think it's probably best we leave that classified, just like CCH.
These people on their classified information. I'm basically
Top
trying to get him to tell. I'm trying to tell him to give me all the names, so the next time we go on commentary for a F.A.N.G, we'll be able to know. But then that kind of jumps onto my next question, right? So Mortsy, I think it was you that put out a tweet talking about the knowledge of F.A.N.G is pretty poor. Across the board. Now, this is your time to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more, because you have to understand, and people at home as well, text removes tone. So I'm not sure if Mortsy meant any malicious intent by that. And funny enough, that tweet came out, I'm pretty sure, the week of the regional finals for Inter World Open, where F.A.N.G was littered all over the place. Or it might have been before that. But what exactly is annoying the F.A.N.G community that you could probably shed light on? Is it our general knowledge on F.A.N.G as a character, or is it just matchup specific things?
So, that tweet was certainly, I think the message behind that tweet, one, was I still stand by it, but I certainly think that it could have been worded a lot less aggressively.
Okay.
I think it was more a gripe with when you play a character that has generally poor representation, you have to kind of expect that when you make it onto these stages that have higher visibility, that people aren't necessarily going to know things about the character that you would expect them to, and that you do, and you kind of, F.A.N.G's been in the game for quite a long time.
He's been since the start of the game, basically.
Exactly. And so I think a lot of the F.A.N.Gs, and we've had some instances where either F.A.N.G players specifically were disrespected, the famous Fartgate of 2020, and that is something that just kind of continually plagues, not necessarily F.A.G, but I imagine you would see something similar with like Falk players, maybe not necessarily in UK because you guys have Phils, and he's a very, very strong player. But I think at that point it was.
No, I mean, listen, honestly, it's completely fine, because this again, it's an opportunity, because I do feel, part of me, when we saw that tweet, it was a little bit misunderstood. Obviously, at the time, you're like, you know what, this is kind of a little bit annoying, because I do understand that you're watching your character being played on screen, and the commentator's like, okay, you know little to nothing about this character, but again, it's a character, like you said, is underrepresented. We seldom see this character. Again, in terms of the spectrum of seeing Urien as opposed to F.A.G, we're going to know Urien like the back of our hand, even if we don't play Urien. But then there's going to be a couple of things with F.A.G where it's like, okay, might not know this certain intricate situation where the frame data does change. I don't know how many projectiles are super potent against Ryu Bender, stuff like that. And it's just something I personally wanted to ask Mortsy, because again, text removes tone, and him explaining it to not just me and Olvaha, but to you guys at home, it can definitely clear a lot of things up in that regard.
For sure. I remember that tweet clearly, and I was like thinking to myself, like, man, like, how have I portrayed this character in commentary for myself? Like, I was doing self-reflection because of that tweet, so it definitely hit some waves.
No, do you know what? Sometimes. Oh, go for it, Mortsy, please, go for it.
I was just going to say, I think especially the way that I worded it and the aggressive tone that I had used also really came across that I was kind of more attacking the commentary, and that wasn't necessarily my objective. It was more just trying to say, like, playing a character of this popularity, you have to expect, but it's something that it grates a bit after a while.
Listen, I can definitely understand it. I think everyone in their fighting game career has definitely felt that with their character at one point. It's you're watching other people talk about your character and you're like, that's not how this situation goes. Like this matchup is definitely not a 6-4. This is a 5-5 or something like. It can happen, right? It can happen, and whether you like it or not, it's going to continue to happen because again, some of us are ignorant. Some of us will not have the knowledge to say of yourself, Mortsy, regarding F.A.N.G or any other character. It just happens across the board. We just try to brushing up on those little areas as much as we can because again, there's like 43 characters in the game now. I think something like that.
I've lost count.
I've lost count too. But there's a lot to remember. And if it's a character we don't see, that is going to be, well, you know what? I actually don't see F.A.N.G out of these 30 other characters I see in a tournament. So fair play to that. But still on the topic of F.A.N.G, before I pass it on over to Olvaha, what are some of F.A.N.G's biggest weaknesses? Because I've got a F.A.N.G player on the stream for you guys, so I'm going to get as much information about the character out of him now so I can note it down. So what are some of F.A.N.G's biggest weaknesses, Mortsy?
So the biggest one that I find that a lot of people, and if or when F.A.N.G is brought up in this 1st to 10, you will see Chris abuse it, is his incredible weakness to fireballs. And that sticks to where a lot of the matchups that he struggles in are characters like Guile, characters like Sakura, characters like Ryu, and Ken. He can get zoned by Ken, by the way. Because in order to properly contest fireballs, he has to both put a cloud down and then also throw up balls. Up balls has nearly 50 frames of recovery. It is incredibly slow, and so it's very easy to take advantage of. The other thing is F.A.N.G has a very floaty jump. And the slide is similarly, yes, you can do it as a read, but it's the exact same as a jump. Is that it's punishable maybe for actually more damage, because generally you're going to get more of a ground combo than an anti-air combo.
Okay.
But the main thing, and this is for everyone, the advice is if you go into training mode and you can set the F.A.N.G to slide or to jump or whatever, but the slides are the important one to see. If he slides before the fireball comes out, he's going to be plus because it was a read, he's not reacting. But if he slides after the fireball is on the screen, he's going to be minus when he comes out of the slide. And you see a lot of people just letting F.A.N.G kind of do his own thing after sliding under the fireball, but you have to make sure. F.A.N.G is definitely one of those characters. F.A.N.G and Bison kind of a similar play style in that if you don't actively stop their pressure, they're not going to stop. So taking the opportunities when you have them, frame data wise, is very important for this character. So that's why he struggles against Guile, and that's why he struggles against Sakura, is because even though their fireballs might not necessarily be very strong, Guile's obviously is very strong.
Okay.
But the jumping over it is just so unbelievably slow, and sliding under it is reactable. So he struggles very, very much against those characters.
Okay, duly noted. He did mention Guile, so I want to snip in this quick question before I hand it over. Chris, do you still play Guile?
I dropped him completely. Once they added the Seth V-Trigger 2 buff, made it just a ridiculous V-Trigger. Even after, I was even using it before all the buffs, back in whatever the 2020 season is called. I don't know if that's season 5, season 4.5. I don't know what it's called, but whatever that season was, I was still using V-Trigger 2 and that, but now it's even better. And I mean, it's just so fun to use. I love using that V-Trigger so much. And so once I felt like I could just play Seth and Sakura and have that be a good team for all my matchups, then I just had no more reason to play Guile anymore, pretty much.
Okay, fair play, because I know Chris did have a mean Guile at one point. His Guile did bang me up at Capcom Cup 2019 in casuals. Don't think I've forgotten that. It's been so long, it's literally 2019.
Jammerz list of grudges.
Oh, don't worry. When we get to travel around the world again, I've got a list of names. Chris is on that list. Don't worry. I've learned to anti now, so I'll try and give Chris a run for his money. I'll take his sponsorship from him. I want to be wearing that top.
I want to see that. You do that set, I'm gonna watch.
Maybe it might happen. Who knows? But yeah, Olvaha, have you got any questions for Mortsy you want to ask?
I do. I'm kind of kind of frustrated because I think I had a great and I think I had a great question, and it was kind of answered here. But I still want to ask this, like, because this character, like we talked about this earlier, like this character is not well known. A lot of people struggle with the matchup because they just clearly don't know. They haven't labbed this character. They don't know enough. So I was gonna ask you, if you had to teach one thing about F.A.N.G to people, one thing, how to deal with this character, what would that be? You kind of answered that, but I was wondering, like, do you have any other possible pointers regarding that?
It's a legit
Absolutely. Because, I mean, not every character has a fireball, right? So not everyone can take advantage of the earlier tip. One of the larger risks when it comes to throwing up balls, as I mentioned, is the very high recovery. And because it follows an upward arc, it doesn't cover the entire. When you're using each one, light, medium, and heavy, you're covering specific parts of the screen.
Yeah.
And if you can bait F.A.N.G into throwing an up balls and then quickly move out of that. For instance, you could start walking backwards after you get up from like a forward throw, and then often F.A.N.G will throw a heavy up balls, thinking that you're going to continue walking backwards, and then you can dash forward, double dashing, and you're still going to be like plus 12 or something because F.A.N.G.
That's good.
Even if you have like a 20 frame dash, you're still going to be plus 8. I mean, that's assuming you do it immediately, but you're still going to more than likely have advantage, and this isn't going to apply to like larger characters that have a hard time circumventing heavy up balls. But the queen of this is Sero. Her and I have played so much, and she plays the F.A.N.G matchup better than any person that I've met. Maybe Luigi could contest that, but she baits, and I will get double dash DP'd from the other side of the screen. It is very frustrating to deal with, and she plays it so well, but she is kind of the person that takes advantage of that the most, or at least the first one that comes to mind. So dashing back and forth, making it really hard for F.A.N.G to commit to a particular up balls and then punishing him for doing so is something that every character can do.
You hear that, folks? Like, that's straight from the player himself.
How
if
to
you
beat
ever
Mortsy
struggle,
101.
If you've ever struggled with F.A.N.G, take notes.
In layman terms, he's basically saying, just find a way to circumvent the heavy fireballs.
And like,
he accidentally said pick Ken.
He did.
He accidentally said pick Ken.
Also, like, I want to say, I know you people out there love dashing, so use those dashes. Like, just utilize them, right way.
Oh man, that was good advice from Mortsy there. Honestly, you want to say something real quick, Mortsy?
Oh, I was just gonna say that Ken has been terrible since long before he got any of his buffs. That matchup has been abysmal. Like as I said, before they buffed his fireball or anything, Ken could zone you because you couldn't do anything. The fireball was out there for so long. It was kind of sad, honestly.
Dude, I'd never thought in my time of commentating or listening to Street Fighter would I hear Ken can zone. I didn't.
Exactly. That's kind of sad.
That is crazy. But we got a little bit of time for one or two more questions. And Chris, I want to know: are you going to be picking the Seth against Mortsy today? Is it going to be strictly Sakura?
It's probably going to be strictly Sakura. I feel like I can use either character against F.A.N.G, but I think Sakura does a little bit better. And against Oro, which is kind of the character I'm expecting the most, I haven't really done any prep with Seth. I've just been playing with Sakura. And the weird thing about the Seth matchup against Oro, from what I do know of it, is I feel like the V-Skill 1 is really good against Oro and neutral. Okay. But as soon as I get the steal, it's just a terrible time because I steal like the chicken legs from him, and it's so awful. Like I just cannot use it ever.
Why don't you just get rid of it immediately then? Why don't you just so after you get the Oki situation, just do a meaty chicken legs, no?
No,
it's so minus.
It's so punishable.
It's like minus 15.
I can't get rid of it. No matter what I do, I can't get rid of it.
It's so bad on block.
Like, if I just want to do a combo, like, I'm probably going to V-Skill 1, and then if I get you in the corner and I want to get rid of my chicken leg steal, I have to do it in a combo, and then it puts me in the corner.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, it puts me in the corner afterwards. Like, this is the worst steal I've ever had to use.
Do you know what? Now that he's got me thinking about it, I might have to sit around and train him with Aura and Seth tomorrow and really just kind of feel the pain Chris is. I can hear it in his voice. He's like, I can't do anything with this.
Yeah.
It's mad funny, actually, that both of the characters that I would use, both F.A.N.G and Aura, just have terrible steals. They're horrible. So I'm good. I get hit by a V-skill 1, sure, he gets the steal, and then he has to get rid of it. So all that time, I'm kind of like freed up to do projectiles.
Okay.
Big Oro.
Well, maybe he will. He's been dabbling with Aura. We might see Aura in a little bit, but gentlemen, we're just about out of time in this first half of the show. We're going to take a quick esports break to appease our lovely overlords at Capcom. But when we come back, we're going to jump straight into the set between ChrisCCH and Mortsy. It's not going to be classified information. You know what characters they're going to pick on screen. We'll be back after the break.
See you then.
If I go too far, please forgive me.
Guess it's time to start warming up.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Sets featuring ChrisCCH and Mortsy, two guys that are very familiar with each other. We just had the pre-match chat with the four of us, and now we're going to get into the main stuff, the main source of tonight's stream, which will be the first 10 between these two. We got the gents in the lobby. Olvaha, how you feeling about this one?
I mean, this is the meat and potatoes of this evening, so I can't wait to see what the characters are gonna be and how this set will develop, because we heard a lot of talk about different characters, so there's always that room for, you know, changing that up.
Of course.
Spicing it up.
Yeah, it's a first to 10. It's not character locked. They have a plethora of characters under their belts. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's going to be UYU's ChrisCCH going up against Mortsy using that F.A.N.G, but he might be starting off with another character first. We will see. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled on the screen. Someone has asked where F.A.N.G is. F.A.N.G's not here. I kicked him off the stream. That's what happened. I kicked him off. He didn't qualify. He had his probation period and he failed. F.A.N.G is not coming back.
That's rough. Yo, and we see the oral.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Let's go. This man is all wrinkled up and ready to go.
Damn, I see you. All right, Mortsy's going to kick things off with the aura. Okay, we might, because these guys are from a different region than us, we might have a little bit of speed ups here and there, but this should be a very interesting set to see between the two of them, because they are quite familiar with each other and their gameplay. They were talking in the back saying, Mortsy was asking, how much do you know about aura? Is that, please can you post this?
Yeah, it's exactly. Like, I just love that small banter. But look at that EXTP just going through the fireballs there. Very efficient use of that move.
Okay, and again, not many people have that much good experience against an aura player so far. So this actually might work to Mortsy's favor, actually. So we'll see what Chris can do and learn on the fly. This is what being a top fighting game player is all about. Not just studying prior to the match, but see how you can adjust on the fly.
Exactly, and it's only been 2 weeks since these characters were released, Aura and Akira, but you're already seeing pro players use these characters, and there you go. There you go. Oh, and she dropped them. Oh, goodness.
All right.
And that's going to be a punish.
Early round, a little bit of spaghetti gameplay there, but early first round, got to get it out of there now.
Yeah, but like 2 weeks in, you need to be prepared to see these characters, because people are picking up these characters at an astonishing rate.
Well, I think a lot of the Oro players, or people trying out Oro, dropped off. Akira's still pretty much in abundance, similar to when Ryu got buffed from Champion Edition.
She's a bit more similar to other characters in that regard. Like, Oro is definitely a beast of his own.
There we go. So let's see how it is. Trying to double jump as well. I'm kind of curious to see how Mortsy will utilize the double jump against a character like Sakura. Will ChrisCCH hesitate? Will he air to air? I'm very curious. Nice dash up throw though. He's got an absurdly fast dash for a slow character.
Yeah, like that is something that definitely people need to be ready to, you know, dash check Oro, because his dash is decent. It's not Urian level, but it's decent.
The thing is, you say it's you got to learn to dash check it, but he's got a medium punch, forward medium punch that's got pretty decent range, so you might get hit by that. And he's got a V-skill 1 on EB as well.
Yeah, he's setting up the zoning game right now, because he did not quite get anything out with the V-trigger, but he's setting up this zoning game like that. Onibi has a lot of... Oh my goodness!
You gotta be careful. So Onibi has a ton of startup and recovery to it, but what happens is people try to dash and then punish it right before it comes out, and unfortunately the Onibi comes out and hits you and stops you in your tracks and gives Aura a full combo. And great exhibited there by Mortsy.
Yeah. And Jammerz, do you know what happens when that happens to you? You get tilted.
Basically. Oh no.
That's gonna be a fat punish from Mortsy there.
All right, he's going to go
getting
for
the double
OP.
dash. That's actually, you're gonna be plus on the double dash there. That's the B&B that Oro players use. The EX legs into the medium kick version, which gives you a double dash and plus on Oki.
Oh, I didn't know Sakura could do that. Forward hard kick into her V skill 2 and then combo. I didn't know she could do that.
Oh yeah, true.
Shout out to the Sakura specialist, ChrisCCH. Unfortunately, gets back thrown into the corner. No Tengu Stone activation just yet. What is he going to do from though? He could have done it there. He could have done it there and possibly won the game because you build an absurd amount of meter from the Tengu Stone. Once it's activated, he misses opportunity there, Mortsy. But first game goes to ChrisCCH here, Olvaha.
Jammerz, I'm not sure what happened there at the last minute, but I'm pretty sure that Mortsy was kind of scared of anti-airing Sakura because he was not sure if Sakura was gonna cross up or gonna land front because the standing medium punch, pretty much the go-to anti-air as normals go.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking probably he could have V trigger activate into EX. Oniyanma, I think it's called the charge anti-air. The invincible reversal, or probably even the light version. He could have got an anti-air combo from V trigger too, but he wasn't ready.
But also you need to take into account that the charge time of that DP is a little bit like longer than okay.
We're gonna have a reset. Reset.
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah,
there
we're
you
gonna have a
go.
reset. I could tell where that was going.
Yeah, look at the damage. Okay, that was a nice read on the V reversal. Didn't quite work in Mortsy's favor there, but this is looking. There you go, ChrisCCH. Just controlling the corner, getting that corner position. That's one of Sakura's definitely the strongest points of this character.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of pretty much at the end of the honeymoon phase for these new characters, but again, people are still using Aura and Akira, still optimizing certain things. But Mortsy's had some pretty good opportunities. He's just hasn't been able to obviously fully capitalize on it, and unfortunately, projectile got avoided.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate for Mortsy. The fireball just saying like, yeah, I'm out of here.
All right. Oh, he misses the Hokusho pickup, and he's going to try and probably shimmy him, try and get the stun, but good V reversal there from Mortsy. Let's see if we can get out the corner here. There it is.
Yeah, getting some real estate in that situation, which is really important against Chris. Like, Sakura was pushing you into the corner. You want to get that free real estate.
Oh, it's going to be a punish as well. Is he going to spend the bar, though?
Okay,
yes,
going for the max damage.
Not quite. I don't think Aura doesn't have an overhead. I was about to say, can he overhead? No.
No, I don't think.
Only the V-skill.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, look at that. Challenging the mid-screen with those stones. Aura went to the construction yard real quick. Got some stones there.
He's got to save those stones. Back throw. He's going to get chips. That's it.
Yeah. Great.
Man. And do you know what's interesting as well? Chris slightly delayed the heavy Shoryuken there just in case of a potential reversal. That's what I was thinking there. He didn't do that Shoryuken immediately. He kind of delayed it. And then once he saw him in block stun, canceled that CA, and it's going to make him 2-0 up in this set. Slowly but surely. It's fine because he's playing by just Sakura things on muscle memory.
Yeah.
But again, we learn as we go along, so.
And that's a great call because I was thinking exactly the same at the round end there. Great awareness from ChrisCCH, optimizing the situation. Knew that Mortsy didn't have the opportunity to V reversal anymore, just going for the chip kill. That's a good way. That's a good strategy.
Again, so far the projectile game is something that is completely comfortable with Mortsy right now. I can tell he's like kind of had that down to a T. He just needs to kind of adjust kind of things he does in the mid-range, probably abuse crouch and medium punch the poke a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 more sneaky dashes there because Aura's dash being pretty fast. Maybe want to introduce a couple of double jumps as well. Speak of the devil, got to jump.
There you go. There you go. This jumping light kick. The cross up for Oro.
Trade on the Hokusho. That's dead. Yeah, that's dead. That's
That
one thing you do not want to do. If you see Hokusho come out, you got to be very careful how you react to it because on the trade situation, Sakura gets an incredible amount of frame advantage from that situation. You saw ChrisCCH convert from that. Good stuff.
Yeah, that was absolutely disgusting, but you gotta love it. ChrisCCH.
Can hit confirm over the standing BB kick. That's one of his go-to pressure tools there. And he's going to go for Oki as well.
Dash.
From that BB, he's not doing the heavy version of the kick to get the Onibi setup. He's just going for Oki all the time.
And that's because you're a plus. You do the medium kick, the kicks after the EX one, and you get the double dash Oki. So I think Mortsy's feeling here, he doesn't want to really zone out. He's afraid of the EX DP maybe. ChrisCCH definitely has shown that he can deal with fireballs.
Yeah, for sure. And he did say one of his problems. Oh, he's going to run into a stand light kick buffered into Shulkin, cancelled into the CA, and that is going to make it 3-0 here in this first to 10 to ChrisCCH. So far, so good. I mean, he's been able to utilize the standing light kick pretty well, despite Mortsy trying to space those moves. Been checking those dashes. Hasn't been too deterred by the projectile game from Oro. I mean, anything else you've noticed?
No, I don't really feel like that. I was gonna bring up the fact that when it's a first to 10, at this first to 3, you know, when you're going up against a player, you get three games up. That's one of those points where you're thinking like, okay, should I switch or should I go?
Yeah, that's true. And again, it's a first attempt to test the waters and experiment stuff. Because again, this could be a proper future investment here for Mortsy. So
yeah, that's true. And this is great experience, like a first to 10 set.
All right, wake up Shulkin there. He's 3 games up, so you might as well. I know Mortsy's got substantial life here, but you might as well.
Yeah, these Sakura players built different.
He's abusing the stand hard kick. He's got some annoyingly good pokes.
He does, yeah.
Oro has, but again, like I think over time people might be less frightened by them. I'm not too sure. Oh, they get
I feel like people will learn how to deal with this fireball zoning game a little bit better because it's pretty frustrating right now, and the crouching medium punch is a fantastic. Damn, look at this corner pressure. Oh, what the stand corner.
Crouching medium punch, yeah. I think he's going to activate off that anyway. I think one thing I've noticed as well, because people love using, like having their tech and utilizing the Tengu Stone V-Trigger too so much, they're forgetting to V-Reversal in a couple of situations where V-Reversal is more than capable of handling the situation. I noticed that there with Mortsy as well, because he could have lost that round.
Yeah, dude, definitely this character is something that is kind of polarizing in that sense that this is one of those characters where you want to save up for that V-Trigger. Like, you want to do that. And sometimes you just forget the defensive capabilities of the character using the V-Trigger.
He got shimmied for the jab. He caught reaching mid-screen. He wasn't thinking about it. He was literally fighting for his life, no pun intended, because he was looking to activate the Tengu Stone once again. But hopefully, once he can get game on the board, but right now he's not off to a good start in this final round of Game 4.
And we've seen Chris do so much work in this corner position, getting those throws. Like these Yankee normals from Sakura, she's really good at this.
Oh, he double jumped back! Oh, wow, okay. That, do you know, I was about to praise the idea, but then I realized where you put yourself. Back in the corner.
Yeah, from the boiling pot to the frying pan.
Yeah. All right, activate the Tengu Stone. 1B reverse to do the trick. There you go.
Oh no, and just look at ChrisCCH just being so comfortable in this situation, even with the Tengu Stone activated ChrisCCH. Just going for that corner pressure, does not care, up 4-0 right now. What do you think, Jammerz?
So this is what we were kind of discussing before the whole stream started, right? We were actually talking a little bit about Tengu Stone as a whole. I said over time it's like a pretty decent V-Trigger, but over time we get figured out. And one of the reasons why I think it's a little bit weak in certain areas off of the back, like first impressions, is because if your opponent has V-Reversal available and you activate the Tengu Stone on block, they'll just wait for you to do 1 or 2 sequences and then just inflict great damage on you. You're going to lose a very good position on screen, right? And that's what happened there.
Yeah. Also, the fact that Oro doesn't really have that 50-50 gameplay going. He doesn't really have an overhead if he doesn't pick the V-skill too, so that's also kind of a weakness in opening up the opponent if you're not going to the activation from hit.
All right, going to activate the Tengu Stone. I think he's going to go for another reset. Yeah, he's looking for another reset.
We'll see. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, did that back throw?
Didn't say what it was. It was,
yeah.
It was just going to be a reset, not a fancy one.
Look at these throws. Already 3 in a row. Can we see the 4th one?
Punish again.
Great punish.
He's going to have to, it's chip again.
Yeah, oh no. Look at this. Chris is like, he's so aware. Like, he's definitely woke at this point.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it's like, he's been taking a bit of damage, but he's been able to mitigate the damage. I know there's a lack of knowledge on the V-Trigger in general, but he's been able to mitigate the damage from Tengu Stone pretty damn well. He's had an abundance of meter to work with after the Tengu Stone is completely gone. So.
Definitely. Okay, we see the jump back once again, trying to bait out something, but it didn't work in Mortsy's favor in this situation. Look at this corner already. This has been the tail. This has been the tail of the tape.
Oh,
okay, Jammerz, we're halfway there. Is Mortsy living on a prayer right now?
It's 5-0. He did say he was going to try out some Oro for a couple of games.
That's
It's been more than a couple of games. We're halfway through, and again, I said this last week, and I spoke too soon. We've only had one 10-0 on the set series from the start of 2021 until now.
Look at this. Mortsy is going with the Oro. He is adamant about this pick.
Again, I think he's trying to accumulate as much experience as he can.
Yeah.
And again, this is someone who actually knows his style as a player pretty well. I don't think it matters what characters Mortsy plays. Chris just knows how Mortsy thinks in a lot of areas. We'll kind of talk to him about that
Yeah, and
afterwards.
like even if Chris doesn't have the best Oro experience, he knows how Mortsy plays, and that's gonna be a definite factor in this set. Look at this. Yeah, lights out for Mr. Old Man here.
Oh boy, this is not looking good. I think you need to go to sleep and dream about changing your costume again. Who knows? Kind of hit confirm.
Okay, nice dash up. Yeah, great confirm.
He's been about 40-60 on those dash-up stand medium kicks. Sometimes this works in situations where he hasn't lost the game, and then other times it's lost in the game.
And look at this. Chris has been answering these jump backs, these double jumps so well in this set. Like, Mortsy hasn't really gotten any mileage out of these double jumps. I feel like it's been detrimental to his game plan.
Right, he's trying to build the V-trigger to make a comeback, but I think Mortsy's going to have to find another way out of the corner. But is that going to be a reset? No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Try to go for the combo.
No V-trigger yet. That's punished. Oh, he could have done a wall.
And now,
No.
what a tragedy. He just got the V-bar full. He was ready to, look at what, you're going to find under Oro's bed. Maybe you're going to find a toy dinosaur or something, but that was unfortunate.
6-0. We are one game closer to the 10-0 mark.
That is rough.
We have it. He is still going with the Oro pick, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, if you gotta give props, I'm gonna give props for Mortsy for being so adamant, so determined on getting this Oro experience in this matchup.
Oh, for sure. Okay, gets an execution error there. Gonna get the charge hard punch. Gonna get full combo here. Let's see if it takes it back full screen. I don't know, maybe he needs to resort back to the zoning idea, but I say that when he hasn't got the life lead. Yeah.
That doesn't really work in that situation if you're not Dawson, I mean.
Another buffer.
This Chris. And this is like, can we just talk about how powerful Sakura's whiff punish game is? The standing light kick cancelled into the DPs has been doing so much work, and it's definitely one of the cornerstones of this character.
Crush counter again. It's going to be still straight to the corner. Mortsy is already in a perilous situation. I don't know how he's going to get out of this. He might have to do random chicken legs to get out. He might have to take the punish to do chicken legs to get out.
Yeah, he definitely needs to look at like in his sleeves and
Go again.
Look at
he got shimmied. I got hit. That's a perfect. And now he's going to be 7 zip on the board. 7 golden letters for the 7-0 mark. It is literally a first to 3 for your boy ChrisCCH at one point. Olvaha, we might need to phone a friend or ask the audience. We need to get Mortsy to change characters, man. Something needs to change.
We need a pulse on Mortsy. How's it feeling? Doctor,
Is that it? Listen, he heard us. He heard us.
Yo, we see a signal. Doctor, we have a signal.
This is brilliant. Oh, mate, this is brilliant. I think someone pulled out the defib unit or somebody tapped him on the shoulder and they said, Mortsy, I think you've had your chance with Oro. Put him away. Yeah. But if you are joining us just now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the fight card tonight. ChrisCCH got up against Mortsy. Right now, it is 7-0. Have you missed much? Not really. Do you think there's going to be more? Do you think there's going to be more in the locker? I think there is. But like I said, these two have quite a history of Street Fighter 5 playing each other.
They do. And look, we see the ping F.A.N.G. F.A.N.G is the bringer of poison, but will he be the cure in this situation? We'll find out soon enough.
I don't know. Let's find out here because, again, he has said Chris has caused him a couple of problems in this matchup as well. Remember, these guys are faced off in a CPT and the top 16. They faced off in the Intel World Open as well.
Dude, I would have been disappointed if we wouldn't have seen any F.A.N.G with all the talk pre-fight about F.A.N.G. Like, I need to see this character.
Forward throw. Now he slips out. Okay.
Yeah, so slippery.
Well, again, listen, we've got a lot of elusive characters in this game. Obviously, F.A.N.G for me is probably he's near the top of the list. I probably wouldn't say he's the most elusive, but
But he definitely has. He has long sleeves for a reason. He has so many tricks in those long sleeves of his.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Is this like Jammerz? How do you feel? Is this already too deep in the set?
This is what happens when you get sponsored, man. But
like, can we just like? There's definitely growing pains for some people when they get sponsored. Like the pressure is real.
It is real indeed. And let me see if Mortsy can get at least one on the board. That's the goal right now. Short-term objectives before the long-term ones. So Toja out of the screen. V-skills, that's a free punish. That is definitely a free punish when you see the Nisha Qs come out.
Chris has been controlling this corner so well, but there we see the V-trigger activation. Will this be the cure for Mortsy? Will this bring what he needs in this situation?
No V-break. And notice how Chris isn't doing the V-skill against the V-trigger 2 version of Nisha Q. Very interesting. Good situational awareness here from ChrisCCH. Everything's on deck for him right now. Backs off.
Yeah, and look at this. Chris is just escaping these situations. He's playing so comfortably. He doesn't even want to engage at this point.
Damn, Chris tech there. Okay. Didn't think he'd do that, but again, it's Mortsy needs to make the comeback, and if he's not careful, he's going to take a fat CA to the face.
Oh, definitely. We've seen that CA so many times already. Will we see that again? We'll just find out shortly. Because it's last legs for Mortsy here in this match.
If he gets probably one more medium that's blocked, he can go for a chip. Right, he's fine. He's in chip range now. If Chris can get in range to do a chip, he's done for.
And there you see it. Yeah.
As I say that, dash up, EX Shaoken to take the 8th game. I'm gonna fill you in on a little secret, guys. When I asked these two players would they be on board for playing this set, these were Mortsy's words specifically. Please don't put me up against a Dhalsim. I gave him what he asked for. I gave him what he asked for.
You granted the only wish this man had.
Oh no. Okay, it is
like Jammerz, you're a good guy.
I sometimes can be nice. Listen, man, it's all about the players.
Exactly. And these, like, we've talked about this already. Like, these players know each other inside out.
All right, gets hit with the Nisha Q.
Getting that poison in, just that gradual life depletion for ChrisCCH.
Some people are saying this is the fastest first attempt. You guys might need to go on Capcom Fighters and look up Chris T versus Luigi.
Yo.
You might need to see that matchup, Gal versus Ken.
I might need to just take a look at that after this.
Substantial life lead here for ChrisCCH. He's in V-Trigger and he's probably going to deplete it on the V-Trigger fireballs. Plus
look
frames.
at this pressure. So many plus frames right now. Mortsy is afraid to press anything. He has the V-Trigger. The time is ticking. Will he get anything out of that? And look at that!
Oh boy.
All of the particles right now.
All right.
That was hard to call.
Anti-air with the crouching fierce as well. Yeah, you can't really jump at Sakura from that angle as F.A.N.G as well. Yeah, see, look, even Anti with the stand medium punch when he touched under as well.
And Sakura's great movement speed has to be a factor in that. But just look at Chris just moving in, bobbing and weaving, in and out so effectively right now.
Hey, I see Alex Vi in the chat. Shouts Alex Vi. Hopefully you and the family are doing well. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Much love.
Next fireball. Fighting from the corner.
Yeah, this is a great position for Mortsy, but will he make it? It's so hard because Chris has been doing such an effective job at pushing this situation even when he is on the defensive.
Activates V-Trigger, and he's in such a fantastic position here. Clean jumping. That's probably his first clean jumping of this set here for Mortsy. Stays in front. He's got to make this count, and you got to respect that reversal.
He's making it count, Jammerz.
He went for a throw. You're mad. He needs this round. He teched again.
Watch out for the EXDP right now.
Don't slide. Don't slide. You got to wait there. Just got to wait there. Please don't throw a fireball. Don't. Go away. Go away. Run.
Oh, no.
Don't drop anymore.
Oh, no. What happened?
Oh, he tried to put down a Ryu Bender, and the projectile was already out catching him. Damn, that was unfortunate. That round probably would have been a game changer for him to even come back or have a glimmer of hope in this
Jammerz,
set.
Do we still have a pulse? Dr. Jammerz, do we still have a pulse?
I don't know. All my nurses are preoccupied. I can't get anyone in the room. I can't get boy. Ladies and gentlemen, UYU ChrisCCH is on potentially the last game of tonight's set.
And you said this earlier, we've only seen 1-10-0 in this program before this. Will this be the second one?
My dashes forward. That was a punish. That was actually a clean punish on the rebender. Has he won a round? Yes, Mortsy's got a couple of rounds here and there. He has not got a game on the board, but he's been unfortunate in terms of getting the life in and maintaining it. That's been the problem. And a back throw to put him at set points.
And like a win at this point for Mortsy would be absolutely huge momentum. Like I feel like that would be such a relief, but he has to fight his way. He has to put in so much blood and sweat.
The spacing right now, please, you can't be throwing out arbitrary sweeps at this time in this set. Forward throw. Is he gonna dash and do another one? Slips out.
Oh.
Gotta be careful, trying to challenge. He's flailing every button he can right now.
Yeah, those sleeves are put into work. Like those sleeves are doing work.
I'm telling you, right now in this round, Chris can do whatever the boop he wants. Trust me. Chris can do whatever he wants. He can do random super right now if he wanted to.
Like, I need to learn that self-censor.
Forward throw. That was a V crouching light kick, and I activate the V trigger too. He's got to be very careful. V break, back throw. Check.
Okay, but look at this. Oh.
No CA.
And the C8 is there. And the V trigger is activated. And that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but I have to. I have to say it. UYU ChrisCCH. He wins tonight's set 10-0 on the channel. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Mortsy, unfortunately, he's not 6 feet under. He's below that. He's somewhere down there. He tried to experiment with the Oro, and I respect him for taking that pick. But it was a 10-0 clean zip. Oro F.A.N.G couldn't do it. ChrisCCH all powerful. Get this man on Street Fighter League. Does anybody know if he's on the UYU team for Street Fighter League? Have they announced the team yet? Why is he not on the team? Did anyone see that?
Exactly, yeah. Like, is the team announced, and why isn't he in the team?
UYU, this is my message to you. Look, that was a phenomenal performance. He came onto one of your team events or your tournament events, and he outplayed everyone. He performed so well. Put him on the Street Fighter League team, please, man. This guy's absolutely amazing, and he's only going from strength to strength. But listen, we're gonna chat with these guys a little bit more. I'm pretty sure Olvaha needs to wrap his thoughts around a lot of things because again, that's the second 10-0 we have seen on the set show on Monday night. Mortsy's not going to want to talk to us, but I want to talk to him. We're going to take a short break.
You're going to put the mic in his face and be like, hey.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to these guys in the Discord call. Don't go nowhere, because I want you guys here for this post-game chat. Don't go nowhere.
Let's go.
いつかあの背中に追いつくためにさて一丁やってやりますかねえさすがすりゃすりゃいけとあいつすりゃさっさと始めようぜ俺は誰にも負けねえ
It's time to start warming up.
All right, ladies and germs, all Street Fighter fans across the world, welcome back to tonight's episode of Sets. ChrisCCH going up against Mortsy. If you just joined us, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you have missed the set entirely. It has concluded. The score is actually right under mine and Olvaha's name. You see, ChrisCCH emerges victorious 10-0. That's right. You don't have to do what Aura does on the cat select screen and clean out your ear. It is 10-0. That has happened. The second one that has happened on this series on Capcom Fighters on Monday night. Olvaha, that was very interesting. Mortsy went with the Oro pick for quite a number of games and only swapped to F.A.N.G for a first of 3. I mean, what were your thoughts regarding the whole set entirely?
The whole set, I mean, of course, even though it's 10-0, it was still super entertaining. And I also gotta say, I was kind of surprised that Mortsy was gonna go with the, the long haul with the Oro. But I mean, that's what you gotta do. You gotta dedicate that time and those matches to get that level up with that new character. It's only been 2 weeks since this character came out, and I think he did a great job at Oro. There's definitely some optimization ready to be made with the meter usage, the meter optimization, when to use the V meter, for example. But I think for 2 weeks of worth of training, I think that was pretty great.
Well, we do have the gentleman back in the call with us. As you can see, we're on the 4-way shot right now. So I believe Chris, Mortsy, can you guys hear me loud and clear?
Yep.
Sweet, perfect. First of all, gentlemen, thank you for participating in tonight's first to 10. Obviously, that was a scoreline that a lot of us weren't expecting. Mortsy apparently said he was expecting it, or something very similar to it.
So prediction.
So, listen, I'm telling you, sometimes these F.A.N.G players can see the future, and this is what I mean, right? But
that's what the Illuminati is for.
This is why I need him to divulge and tell me all the people that are involved in that Illuminati chat with the F.A.N.G players. They need to tell me, right? But firstly, I got to go with Mortsy first. So, you went with Oro for much longer than I expected. You went there for 7 games. Did you just want to drag things out to learn a little bit more about the Oro Sakura matchup, or was there just a couple of things you were trying to kind of get down to muscle memory while you still had the chance? What was the reason?
I honestly felt that I was not going to switch to F.A.N.G, actually.
Wow.
I told myself before the set that I would do 5 games with Oro, and if I didn't get any, I would play F.A.N.G. But a few of those rounds, man, a lot of the times I end up in a okay, it's not the character's fault. It's my own decision making or my own mistakes that are leading me to lose these rounds. So the character isn't necessarily the problem. And switching to F.A.N.G, it was still okay, but I was actually, despite the score being what it was, I was actually super content with how the Oro stuff went, frankly.
Okay. I mean, because when we had Chris T and Luigi on board, you know what? Luigi held his head up high and he said something similar. He said, I'm not too disappointed by that again, because I think one thing that viewers can grossly misunderstand is you look at the scoreline and go, yo, Mortsy just got washed. And okay, on that scoreline, he did.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of solace and a lot of promise to take from that, because again, Aura's only been out for 2 weeks. ChrisCCH is probably one of the best players in the West Coast and the States in general. That might be a big stretch for a statement for me to make. But again, This guy's been phenomenal. He's been picked up by an official sponsored team for a reason, right? And it's a case where having that or using Oro, throwing him in the deep end and learning against a player like Chris, it's only positives you can take out of that, right? So, I mean, is that something you want to invest more time into in the future? Oro versus Sakura, or you stick with F.A.N.G versus Sakura?
I would like to do Oro versus everybody that F.A.N.G doesn't just absolutely destroy, to be honest. I'm pretty invested in this character, and so I'm really hoping to continue grinding out. Unfortunately, won't be able to play in the second US West.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, unfortunate.
An unfortunate scheduling overlap, but I am still hoping to grind this out, at least for the next season, because I really enjoy playing Oro. I think he's very cool, and if I could play him, obviously F.A.N.G has some characters, especially the Balrog matchup, which is just phenomenal for him. So I want to keep grinding this character out because he's really fun, and I don't honestly think they won the matches were that bad character-wise.
Okay, fair play. I mean, listen, like you said, you can watch those back and go, okay, you know what? Because I know a couple of your dash opportunities were like kind of 40-60 to me. It's like you 40% of the time they were working, 60% of the time Chris was being exceptionally well at checking them. And unfortunately, when you did dash and you checked them, you did lose. But beforehand, when it was early in the round, you did get your dash up, standing beating kick, counter hit confirm, and continue from there. So there definitely is promise to take from that. But speaking of, now, Chris, you have an amazing track record against Mortsy, just in playing in general. At least in recent time, to my recollection anyway. Do you just have Mortsy's number? Or is there still a couple of things where Mortsy still has one or two tricks up his sleeve, no pun intended, to bring out and show you?
I mean, I will say I definitely think I know Mortsy pretty well as a player. I think one big thing though is just like Mortsy plays kind of weird characters, I guess. And I think one of the things I'm best at as a player is like labbing out matchups. And something that I think not many people know is I actually played F.A.N.G in Season 2. He wasn't really my main, but I actually played the character, so I've always known how to deal with the character pretty well. So I think in the F.A.N.G matchup, like I just had a lot of good things going for me. I think I showed quite a bit of like tech I have in that matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure. We saw the you did so when he did miss your Qs mid-screen, you did the V skill 2 with Sakura to punish that. Poison can actually do something very similar to that as well, so it's actually very good that you did that. I saw a little more audacious attempts with throws and just kind of just how you handled neutral situations and when V triggers are activated as well. So your knowledge is definitely up there, and it's definitely one thing a lot more people, mainly commentators, I'd say myself included, have to note down about ChrisCCH as a player. He's very good at studying his matchups, and do not sleep on this man. But Olvaha, please.
No, for sure.
You got any questions for the gents regarding the set that transpired?
Yeah. Mortsy, what do you think is your next step with Oro? Like, what are you planning on looking into for the upcoming matches? Is there something like that you already kind of recognize in your own gameplay? You're like, okay, I need to work on this. Is it like the V trigger usage, the Tengu stone usage, or something? How do you feel about that?
That's a great question. I certainly Tengu stones is a fickle beast. It sometimes I've had the mix-up. I'm super happy. I got the one mix-up at the start and then dropped the combo, but it was super cool. So it is with that. But it gives and it takes for sure. I played some sets against a friend last night as well, and what I found, and it's a little similar with F.A.N.G as well actually, but it doesn't need to be the case for Oro, is that I can be very static, and in the way where I'm sitting there, which allows my opponent to walk in and out of my spacing, as opposed to trying to be a little more evasive in mixing up my spacing, because I'm sitting there holding, down back or something along those lines just to charge. And F.A.N.G, it's not that big a deal, but on a character that doesn't necessarily need the charge like Oro, it's imperative that I mix up that spacing so that it's a lot harder for my opponent to space out their big their normals, or be able to so easily manipulate neutral.
That is great insight. Great answer. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting there. Now, another thing as well is, where do you... I'm going to extend this question out to Mortsy first before I get Chris's opinion on this. Where do you see Oro ending up? Do you see him being a true threat to the majority of the cast, or is he just going to be a character that is specifically chosen as a counter pick? How do you feel about that one, Mortsy?
That I honestly have a bit of a hard time answering that question, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be if we think positives, the Tengu Stone, if you can activate on hit, you're crushing people. It is very, very, very strong. The fireball recovery is a little bit not recovery, say the hurt box. You saw Chris did an excellent job of DPing through it. That was just disheartening.
For sure, we can believe that.
I want to say, because he's not like a bad character, so I want to put him closer to the middle of the pack, most likely.
Okay, all right, interesting. Chris, how do you feel about Aura's potential in Street Fighter 5? Do you see him being a menace, or do you think he's just not going to be a true threat to the majority of the cast?
I think it'll probably depend a lot on like what character you play, because the way I see him is that he's got some good tools, but they're definitely tools that can be countered pretty easily if like you're playing the right character. Like if you're someone who's got a lot of anti-projectile options and you can deal with all his normals really well, then I just don't see what he can do outside of just like, you know, his basic pressure stuff and maybe rob you with some V-trigger too. But I can also see him like in the right matchup where he can zone out effectively and really control neutral. I can definitely see him doing well. So I think it could be maybe a good character, but probably a character that you would at least need some sort of counter pick to. Like I can't see anyone doing well just by playing Oro. So I have to imagine he's got a ton of bad matchups.
Yeah. Fair play. Olvaha, you got any more questions for the gents before I hit them with some specifics and the universal question as always?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are your plans for, you know, this upcoming season? Do you have any specific plans about, you know, attending events or training up in a certain specific way? And this is like targeted for both players.
Chris, we'll start with you.
Go first?
Yeah, we'll start with Chris.
All right. I mean, obviously, it's a shame that Mortsy, he's not going to be able to play in the next CPT Online. I will be playing in the next CPT Online for sure, so that's obviously like the main thing I'm training for right now. And as far as like any special training, I would say the main thing is like going into this event, I feel pretty confident about my odds of winning it, but there are quite a few players that I know I have to train for specifically. Okay. So that's going to be like for the next month or so. CPT is like almost a month away, I think.
Yeah, it's what we're going to be September in 2 days. It's in October, right? Your second round. Yeah, so okay, more or less it's going to be a month. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, there are definitely just specifically like top players that I've been running into, you know, and all of these West Coast tournaments over the pandemic. So I'm mostly just going to be training for those specifically, and not really just like not really training in the character matchups, but more so just trying to get a good read on those players so I can feel comfortable when I fight against them. That's going to be the majority of my training on top of just like all the normal stuff, just playing ranked and playing other good players on the West Coast.
Okay, fair play. And Mortsy, what about you? Obviously, there's an overlapping schedule, as you mentioned, regarding the CPT. Is there anything else you're probably looking forward to? You're just going to be dedicating a lot more time to mastering Aura?
I think it's definitely going to be the... I'm basically looking for the future at this point, as in next season. At this point, just because, honestly, the other event that I was really hoping to attend is a local... I guess it's local to where I am, Pinnacle, which actually Chris won in 2019. Oh, yeah. The last time it was hosted. And unfortunately, it's the same weekend as the CPT West, so I'm gone for both of them.
Dad, two events,
that
one
hurts.
weekend?
Dude, it's brutal.
Imagine one weekend. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
So it'll just be basically trying to get a mastery, because right now it's mostly I'm just trying to get a handle on feeling comfortable and having that muscle memory with Oro, and the matchup stuff isn't even necessarily in my head quite yet. So it will be trying to develop this into a either primary or a secondary character, or like a duel with F.A.N.G kind of character.
Okay.
And otherwise, it'll be for next year.
Okay. Right. It sucks that he can't go to at least an offline event to compensate that he's going to miss the CPT. Do you know what I mean? That definitely adds salt to injury. Do you know what I mean? But unfortunate there. But Chris, now I got to ask you one of these questions I've always wanted to ask you. If you do watch Sakura players from other regions, Europe or Asia, wherever, is there something Sakura players are not doing with the character that you feel they should be doing more? Is there anything that comes to mind?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is things they just need to stop doing. A lot of the Sakura players I watch,
okay, sorry.
Tell them.
Talk to me.
Their defense is questionable.
Okay. Why is it questionable?
Bro, they just kill themselves with EXDP, and they do it in such unnecessary times. Like, let's say you have someone in the corner, and sometimes I'll just see these soccer players, like, you got them in the corner, you're doing their pressure, and like they block out all your pressure, they take your throw, whatever. So you just do like a light kick Tatsu, and then you EXDP after. I'm just like, why'd you do that? Your soccer is so good in the corner, and you just give it up. Or, you know, if they're just like they're playing a normal round, like they're doing pretty well in it, and then as soon as they get hit, immediately EXDP. Just right out of the gate, they while play any kind of defense. That's like the main thing I know is just like Sakura's. They blow my mind with the the ways they're willing to take risks on defense, or even just like I said with Light Kick Tatsu, when they have pressure, they're willing to put themselves in a situation where they have to play defense and then still go crazy right afterwards. So that's like the biggest thing I noticed with a lot of Sakura players.
Okay.
But
I
think
Oh, go on.
it depends on the Sakura player too. Like probably the two Sakura players I watch the most are Nauman and Spaceboy. And Spaceboy will definitely go crazy every now and then, but it's not something where he's doing it all the time. And Nauman, I feel like, is a lot more solid in regards to that sort of stuff. I think me and Nauman have somewhat of a similar play style, so
okay.
Yeah, that's just something I know.
So speaking of, because it's not just, it's good that you highlighted it through a specific Sakura situation. But I feel a lot of people do that with any sort of character. Is it just a matter of discipline over time? Or is it just being very stubborn and just wanting to do a particular string and then forcing a mix-up in a situation where they have to do it? What do you think it is? Why do they put themselves in this situation where they're forced to play defense?
I think it's very easy to have it to fall into when you're playing an offensive character like Sakura. And it's definitely something I used to do a lot as well, where it's like when you get your offense going, you don't want it to ever stop. So, but like if you're running your offense and let's say you do this pressure string and now you're spaced out, and normally your offense would just stop and you'd go back to like neutral or something. But if you had this opportunity where you put yourself in a minus situation and then your offense is kind of over, but you can pull out something nutty and keep it going and maybe get them in the corner or some way. I think that's like the main mentality, is that they don't want to stop their offense at all. They just want to keep going no matter what.
Okay,
Exactly.
I mean,
no breaks.
Right, well, listen, I'm pretty sure you've seen it plenty a number of times on commentary when you've been commentating Olvaha as well. Again, I don't label it to just Sakura. I see a lot of people do it with characters in Invincible.
We talked about this.
You gotta be careful and be wary. Listen, we're hearing it from a Sakura main himself, one of the best in the business. But speak of the devil, Mortsy, is there? Because listen, I know you F.A.N.G players are conspiring to take over the world and doing all that jazz. But when you watch other F.A.N.G players, is there a particular thing or multiple things that F.A.N.G players are not doing that you feel they should be doing? Or is it from ChrisCCH's angle? Is there a couple of things they need to stop doing and changing their habits? What is it?
To be honest, the F.A.N.Gs that I most often are looking at are those of like a similar or higher level than mine, and it's less about what they need to not be doing or they should be doing, and more what reflecting it back to my own play instead.
Yeah.
Because I have a hard time picking out maybe one or two things. One thing I think maybe lower level F.A.N.G struggle with is just the concept of stagger, because F.A.N.G's crouch medium kick is just such a spectacular stagger button.
It is.
Just because all of his buttons are basically, especially the stand heavy kick and the crouch medium kick, are just free counter hit confirms or free confirms. So abusing that is something that that F.A.N.G should use, and just being optimal when you do get those counter hits, because a lot of F.A.N.Gs will counter hit like a crouch medium kick and they'll go for like crouch medium punch, which they're leaving like a pretty significant chunk of damage off of the table if you're not confirming into that stand heavy punch. So that's probably the big thing. And knowing, oh god, there's one.
It's come now. We're getting it. It's coming.
Surely.
There's one. I got a friend from Ottawa where I used to live and play, and he refuses to play V-Trigger 2. And I have just been pleading with him to learn the goddamn V-Trigger, because it is very good. It's a robbery. Well, it's very good on hit, as I've mentioned previously, but he just refuses. And even though it was a landslide, I still was able to pick up the mix-up. It still dropped around, but V-Trigger 2 is very potent mix-up opportunities, and there's the resources available to learn it are all there in the F.A.N.G Discord. You can find the link on the Street Fighter Reddit. We are all very welcoming, so if you want to play the character, you want to learn, F.A.N.G Discord, we're all very willing to help you.
Wait, is this the open F.A.N.G Discord, or is this the Illuminati one?
This is the open one. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, when you go to the open Discord, don't ask about the Illuminati. Don't ask about the Illuminati.
I'm just asking. Literally, you've got to say it. But Olvaha, have you got any other questions for the gents before I hit him with the universal final question?
I mean, we've gotten so much information. We've got self-reflection. We've got like we've learned so much today. I'm pretty much fulfilled for it today, and I'm ready for you to hit the universal question.
All right, we'll go for it. So, gents, at the end of our lovely discussions, I hit the people with the infamous question regarding Street Fighter 5 because I like to hear different opinions, and I've heard all sorts over the past couple of weeks and months. But now it's you guys' turn. Now, we'll start with Chris. If there was one thing you could change about Street Fighter 5, outside of the obvious, there's one thing you could change about Street Fighter 5, anything. Get rid of Eds, buff Sakura, add a mechanic, remove someone, anything that comes to mind. What would it be?
I know what
Just
you're
nerf
saying.
Dawson.
Just nerf that. I love it.
Listen,
I love
That's
it.
it.
but just nerf Dawson, that's it. Remove his dive kick. There's no reason he should have it. Make his air gale -2 on block or more. Why the hell is it +2 on block? Why is this man got a +2 on block throw? Wait, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe give some of his buttons like a little bit of recovery too, just a tiny bit, so they don't just recover immediately and you can't even jump on them. Just give him some nerfs, just please, real nerfs, not like what they gave him last time. Like, give us some real nerfs,
Do you know
please.
what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send that clip to Veggie. He's in Mexico.
I was gonna say
right
that.
now, and after this is done and archived, I'm going to send that little segment to Veggie.
Yeah.
You have probably made his
Veggie.
day, Chris. You've
Yeah.
made his day.
Veggie, if you're out there,
He's done it
you're
for
gonna
you.
be happy.
Let's not
No,
forget,
so
obviously, extending on or elaborating on Chris's point that there was a burial not too long ago for Dawson. You know, I'm pretty sure it was about 6 months
With
ago.
the big,
Like, listen, at the graveyard, the guy doing the meme, like everything. There was a burial for this dude, and yet he's still running amok, doing all sorts.
it was like a whole day dedicated for that too. Like there was a huge ceremony. There were like speeches in between. They were like, I just want to, dedicate this to the yoga community.
Yeah, they did all sorts. They rang up their
They
ancestors.
ran speeches,
Yeah.
and now we're going to have the Grand Elder of Yoga talking next. So
I tell you what, I hope this doesn't happen. If a Dawson qualifies for Capcom Cup Finals and wins, we need to find all four of us here need to find those tweets when they said Dawson was dead. We need to find them because I'm telling you. I love it that Chris brought it up, but that is absolutely brilliant. Now, Mortsy, I don't know if you share the same sentiments as Chris does, or if you got something else in
my
mind.
track record. You've seen. Oh God. No, I absolutely share Chris's sentiment. There's a large forum in which I think everyone shares that sentiment. The anti-sim squad.
no yoga.
But I'm not gonna. I'm actually pretty content with the direction. Obviously, there's the characters that were already in the game before this season now, where they're gonna have a not harder time changing them, but the characters that have come out this season have all been spectacularly done. So I have no gripes, and I'm excited for the future of whatever comes in the designs of the characters. And outside of the obvious, the one thing I'd like to be changed is I want 11 to switch every round or game.
That's a good one.
That's an interesting take.
At least every game. I would like it if it would just swap each game. It doesn't need to be between rounds. So make it a true, because Mokujin swaps between
Yeah, he
rounds.
does.
But
Do you know what? It's interesting he brings that up. Do you know what? That's probably been one of the most interesting answers I have heard. Anytime I've asked someone that question. 11 changing in between games.
Every round would be. I feel like I like spicy
round is a
food,
lot.
but- Yeah, I
round
like
is a lot.
spicy food. I like spicy food, but that would be a little too spicy, maybe.
But every game, so that you play like a 3-game set and it's a different character each game, that would be great. That's when I think of things I want changed, that's the biggest one that comes to mind.
You know what?
'Cause I'm pretty content all around,
It's something to consider. I will ask someone why can 11 not do that. I will ask someone.
The movement has started today on this Monday before September. No, guys, that the movement has started.
No, because he's got me thinking about it now. It's like, why can't he do that? And it's like, okay, why not? We'll see what happens. But that's a very interesting take. Speaking of, he did mention DLC. Just a quick one before we let you guys go. Chris, what do you think of Luke at first glance? Is that someone you dabble with or no?
Oh, I think I'd actually definitely dabble with Luke. He looks pretty fun to me. He was definitely not what I was expecting at all. and I almost completely missed the announcement because I remember watching like the whole trailer thing. I thought it was over, and all of a sudden I see people start talking about Luke in like a Discord, man. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? And I go back in, and the Luke trailer's like halfway over already. I was so confused. But yeah, he looks really cool. I'll definitely try him out. I actually think like he looks like a pretty fun character to me.
Interesting.
I mean, at this point, you gotta know, like, you gotta stay after the credits. You gotta stay until after the credits to
like
see
a
the
Marvel
special
movie,
cutscenes.
Literally like a Marvel movie.
Exactly.
Okay, Mortsy, what about you? You feeling Luke, or is it just no?
He's not weird enough for me.
Do you know what? I respect that you admitted it. Do you know what? Listen, some people play fighting games. They never tell themselves that, or they never verbally say it. He's not weird enough for me. I thoroughly respect Mortsy for saying that. It's not a weird enough character for him. And
I've
gotten to the point where I'm starting to acknowledge that if they're high tier or if they are too popular, then they're not the character for me. It's a little bit of a, what do we call it?
Detriment?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good
one way to put it.
But I just have a taste, and apparently it's really old men.
Listen, he knows what he wants, and he won't stop until he can find them on the character select screen. Take that how you will. Now, unfortunately,
I'm done.
Gentlemen,
I am done.
we are just about
done.
out of time. Once again, Chris, congrats for winning the set here. Chris and Mortsy, much appreciated for, first of all, answering my messages and reaching out and participating in tonight's event. Chris, where can the people follow you to hear more about your Dawson complaints?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be talking about the Dawson complaints more. You can follow me at ChrisCCH_ on both Twitter and Twitch. And I also got a YouTube channel, just ChrisCCH, if you want to check that out for some soccer and set goodness.
Sweet. And Mortsy, where can the people find you to learn about this F.A.N.G Illuminati and your taste in old men, apparently?
Man, I'm going to regret that quote in the future. So I'm on Mortsy FTC on Twitter and Twitch, and I do not have a YouTube, so that's, yeah.
I mean, you might want to start some F.A.N.G tutorials. You'll get a lot of views and clickbaits. You can probably ask Pat.
Anti-F.A.G
no, you will.
tutorial.
Hey, do that. Listen, that attracts more views than teaching people how to play the character.
True that.
Maybe you could do a tier list on, which
larger
character.
audience.
Yo, like these four things are what are stopping you against F.A.N.G.
Listen, now there's enough clickbait material in the FGC. I'm pretty sure Mortsy will hit the ground running just fine. But,
Exactly.
Gentlemen, that is going to be it from us. Chris, Mortsy, once again, thank you very much for taking part. It was great talking to you guys. We got to close out the show.
Yeah.
Now,
So
you
much
guys
fun.
can leave the Discord whenever you're ready, and I'll give you guys a message on Twitter real soon. But guys, once again, thank you very much for watching. This has been
Thank you.
ChrisCCH and Mortsy joining us, but we need to close out the show. So I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks for having us.
No worries.
Talk to you later.
So that was a very interesting post discussion from the two of them.
That was like, it was informative, it was funny, it was everything I needed.
Yeah, listen, those guys are quite the characters. Yes, the reason I spoke to both of them is because I've seen the track record between them. Yes, it was heavily in Chris's favor, and he kind of accentuated that tonight as well. But again, I want to see some of these sets and these players in longer sets as well, not just first to twos and first to threes. Obviously, and again, there was something regarding Mortsy in his tweet regarding F.A.N.G. It's like, you know what? Let's bring him on and let's hear it from his actual perspective, not a Twitter perspective.
Exactly.
Let's hear him say it, right? And again, if people heard him say it like that, he probably wouldn't have got as much backlash as he did initially when he typed it. And even he said it looked a bit aggressive when he said it. And again, there were some very interesting points that Chris made about Sakura, his mentality. You know, he will be entering the second CPT for Northwest Canada West as well, so keep an eye out for that, because again, he's one of the strongest players to hail from the West Coast, so please keep an eye on that. But overall, I mean, like you said, it's very informative, and it keeps on rolling, man. The different perspectives, different philosophies the players have, it's fantastic.
They're so insightful, like just hearing them say out loud, like what are their plans for learning a character, like the questions we asked, like what would you teach if you're up against this character? What is the one thing you would teach to the other players? And it was so insightful. Like, they were just ready to go. They were like, okay, so here's what you want to do. So you want to do this and you want to do that. You don't want to do that. It was so insightful.
I think it's a case where, again, this is partly how home streaming does help the players, right? Because it's like people ask them that on a regular basis. And again, I don't speak to some of these players as often as some people jump into their chats and ask them, right? So it's like, look, again, it's classified information. I'll find out what CCH means. I will find out what it means. But again,
and give me the information.
People ask him, and it's like, okay, what's your philosophy on soccer? You're the best soccerers around. What's the thought process? How do you feel? How are you things going forward? You know, Mort's going to invest more time into Oris, stuff like that we get to talk to these players about and hear their insight. And it's very interesting stuff. So, other than that, we got to conclude tonight's show. As I said, I don't know if my stream team has any graphics to put up for the remainder of the night. I'm not actually entirely sure. Maybe we do.
We do have something.
Hey,
yeah,
there you go. They put up the... Okay, they did find it. I told them not to worry about it, but they did. Ladies and gentlemen, Street Fighter League has been announced. If some of you do not know, some of the players have flown out to Mexico because they had to quarantine for a little while, but they should be going soon. I think Street Fighter League is going to be sorted out soon, but it will be airing on October the 7th. Yes, that is a month and a bit away, but you blink and October is going to be right around the corner. So I promise you, Street Fighter League will be upon us sooner than you think. This is Team Nordavin's announcement. We got the Moose himself, Phenom. We got the most handsomest man in the FGC. I kicked him off the stream because he just didn't cut it. He looked too good for the stream. He broke all the cameras. I said, Veggie, we can't have you on the stream. I think you should be a full-time player again. And that's exactly what he is. He's going to be in Street Fighter League. It's going to be a great event for him. And their third person, it looks like an amalgamation of...
Dude.
It's Luffy's head. I don't know whose body that is. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know. Right. Okay.
I'm done.
So here is the UYU official team announcement. Shout outs to all these guys putting in the work. Obviously, Oil King recently sponsored by Red Bull. He couldn't make the Kumite because for obvious reasons, but he is going to be with UYU participating in Street Fighter League once again. Oil King, we got Kami on there. I can't wait to see what roster he has because again, I was talking with Chris earlier before the stream started. He said, if they ban Seth, I don't know what other character he's playing. I know he's been dabbling with Akira, but I don't know if he's going to commit to her for something as big as Street Fighter League. And of course, NL putting in the work, doing the business. This guy was...
NL.
He was tearing it up in the Intel World Open.
It was so amazing to watch him play.
He's probably going to be... I think Cammy and Urian, probably? I don't know. Yeah.
Most likely. But like, we talked about this already. Like, all of these teams, they look so buff. Look at these guys. They are mean-killing machines.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely esports players. They pose for cameras and they take pics on Instagram every 2 seconds of their day. But speaking of the devil, this actually might be one of the favorites to win Street Fighter League. I don't think they have covered all bases. Trust me. They got Team NASA. They got the kind bird. They got the small bird.
All the birds.
I think that's DMX. Is that DMX? What? I don't know. He won't get at me for that. I think we're cool enough to call it that, but it's fine. Now, shouts to Problem X. Hopefully he's doing well out there because he has been picked up by NASA for this event. Do not worry, he hasn't changed sponsor. He's still with Mouse Sports, but under Street Fighter League rules, he will be with NASA Sports. And again, Big Bird and Angry Bird are some of his best friends in the FGC, so this is a great team. These guys chat a lot. They practice a lot as well. So this is going to be a team you want to look out for. Definitely look out for this team when Street Fighter League starts airing. Have we got any more teams to advertise? Is that the ones? Hey!
There we go.
So we got Mena, we got Kaba. Is that Hermes Venator? I don't know who that is. Damn. Oh man, I'm terrible. I actually don't know that.
We need a confirmation on that.
Hold on, I need to find out who that is. Is that Hermes? I don't know who that is. But he's on there for a reason. And I can't big him up because I think I do know who that is, but I don't. Is it Hermes? Okay, it is Hermes Venator. All right, cool. So I was right. I was kind of doubting myself. But yeah, he's going to be part of Team Bandits. Another team to look out for because, again, in situations like these, I do feel people forget about Mena. He's qualified for Capcom Cup. I do feel people forget about Kaba as a player and how strong he was as well. He qualified for Capcom Cup finals. I think 2018 and 2019, or it might be 2017 and 2018. I can't quite remember which 2
But
years
even
it was.
so, like, he is an amazing player.
For sure.
Super talented.
Another team to look out for. I'm not sure if they've announced any other teams. They have.
There we go,
They've done it.
Panda.
Wait. Is this the tier list team? Is this the content creators team?
Oh my goodness.
Wait.
Yes, it is.
What is Punk looking at? Is he looking at his Panda wristwatch? Or is he looking at subscribe to Capcom Fighters? Is he looking at Twitch.tv Capcom Fighters on his Apple Watch or something?
He's looking at the latest tier list.
Someone must have sent the latest tier list or something. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be another scary team. Justin Wong makes a return to Street Fighter League. Actually, this might actually be his first time here. But again, he's going to be returned to the big stage on Street Fighter League. He's going to be with Panda Global's Punk and of course Nephew. They did do that
Yes, they
the
did.
tryouts
The
with Chakotay,
yeah.
Mandrake and Nephew winning that there. So again, all these teams are dangerous. I have my favorites, no personal bias there. I just have my favorites, but this is another lethal team. I'm very curious to see who Justin is going to bring to the table because I know he loves Rose, I know he loves Akira, but will he bring out that infamous poison he did damage with back in 2019? I wonder. Only time will tell. October 7th is when everything starts airing, and it's going to be great action. These guys are playing for big money, or as I say, the big P's in the UK. Yeah. So you guys want to be making sure you tune into that as well. Yeah. And do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, there is not going to be a CPT for the next 2 or 3 weekends. We are going on a little break from the Capcom Pro Tour Online on 2021-2022 season. But when we come back, boy, you're going to love it because Japan is going to bring us back. Look at that. So it's going to be
look at that.
September 18th, right? The weekend of the September 18th. Then we're going to have a week after. It's the September 25th. And then it's going to be a CPT for the next, I think that's the next 7 weeks.
Yeah, I think so too. And just look at these regions. So many stacked regions. It's going to be every weekend is going to be so stacked.
Okay.
And we're going to be treated.
That's insane. I have double checked. That's going to be CPT for the next 7 to 8 weeks.
You love to see it.
That is crazy. Wow. How about that? Time to earn your money's worth. it's literally, I'm looking at it now. I need to double check some of these dates as well. Because like I said, you blink, it's going to be Street Fighter League during the week. It's going to be CPT on the weekend. It's literally the business end of the season for a lot of players, commentators, staff, TOs alike. It's going to be non-stop action. Hopefully you guys can tune into Capcom Fighters and join us, no matter what the region will be. But I
know I will be there. Like, I will be enjoying all of these, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, I think that about wraps up in terms of reminding you guys and announcing everything regarding Street Fighter 5. And, hey!
Let's go!
We got something sorted for you guys, but we're going to get their lovely faces on the graphic during the week. But this is going to be next week's episode or set. So, hey, Olvaha, take it away. Who we got on the show?
So we've got Dr. Gulag and Lohi. Both of these players have been doing very well in their respective region CPT tournaments and the qualifiers alike. And these are some of my favorite players in the community, the Finnish community. Finland is going to be represented next Monday, so definitely tune in to hear some of those storylines. I can't wait to get these guys on the mics. I want to hear them talk. I want to, these guys have history. Like, they've played against each other for numerous times. Even in the latest Evo, they had to eliminate each other.
That's how it goes.
Can you believe that?
That's one of the reasons why I called them both up.
Yo, okay, so you had like an agenda here. Okay, I can respect that.
And I will be the honorary Finnish member. Because I will be the only.
You will. Welcome,
the only English person.
Jammerz, welcome to the Finnish community, my friend. I have the Discord link. You can just join whenever you feel like it, my friend.
Listen, I'll have that invitation open-ended. But on that note, hopefully you can join us next Monday for another episode. It's going to be another nail-biting set between, again, another lineup of players that know each other pretty well, and anything can go. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it tonight. ChrisCCH dominates Mortsy in a 10-0 fashion. He did try some aura, but it looks like the venomous number 2 couldn't get him out of trouble. And until then, we're going to love you and leave you. Keep playing Street Fighter and stay safe.
Exactly.
We'll see you next week.
Stay safe. Yeah.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
I Guess it's time to start warming up.
If I go too far, please forgive me.